So I've been around a little bit. And one of the things that's kind of been really heavy on my heart recently has been the topic of friendship. You know, even as we kind of come into chapel today, a lot of what we're thinking about is where are my friends sitting? You know, where are they at? And just the people that we kind of really care about. So I'm going to go into a story real quick that I think really kind of fits this topic. Flashback to about before Thanksgiving, a little bit before earlier this year, and I was kind of going through a rough spot. Some things I had done in my personal life, along with my mom, was really kind of sick. She had a mass in her lungs, and to make a long story short, we really didn't know what it was. And it was just taking a lot out of me. And I remember one night we were supposed to be getting some results back on, you know, what it was that was causing the sickness, and it ended up coming up negative, that we had no idea, and it was going to take about 2-3 more weeks for us to actually find out what was wrong. And I remember that took a lot out of me, and I was just kind of everything that had been going wrong in my life kind of came to a peak. And so I remember texting one of my friends and being like, hey man, can we just talk? And you know, I wasn't expecting anything great. I was expecting maybe some texts back and forth, or maybe at the most a phone call. But he's like, yeah, sure, I'll be over in about 30 minutes. And sure enough, 29 minutes later, he showed up at my front door, and we just went out for a little bit. And I was just sitting in his car, and I remember very well, just kind of, you know, sitting in his car and I lost it. I was just uncontrollably crying and sobbing and just, you know, pouring out my life into this guy. And the important thing I want you to take out of that is not that, you know, I was having a rough spot, but simply the fact that he had nothing to gain from that. He wasn't, you know, getting money, food, a fun experience. He wasn't hanging out with someone funny. He was dealing with a guy who was broken, but he was willing to do that simply because he loved me. And that's one of the most important things I think culture and society today has lost about friends, is that sacrificial love. Proverbs 27 says, as iron sharpens iron, so one man another. And in that moment, he was sharpening me. See, I don't know if any of you have, but I've sharpened knives before, and I can tell you from personal experience, it's pretty annoying. It's the same tedious action over and over and over again. It's forceful. It's repetitive. It's annoying. It's just, it gets old after about 30 seconds. But for those you love, you need to be willing to do that. And it's not always easy. See, I think today in society, we look at friends so much as, what can they do for me? You know, you look out and you're like, you know, well, they're pretty, so maybe if I hang out with them, people will think I'm prettier. Or, you know, they're really funny, so if I hang out with them, people might think I'm funny. Or they have this cool, you know, experience. Maybe if I'm with them, I'll get to experience that. But that's not the right view. Yes, sure, all those things might come, but the reality is you should be in it because you love them, because you want them to be better. I can tell you from personal experience, when I live, some of the best moments in my life are when my friends are having great lives. When they're at their highest highs, I am my happiest. When their relationships are going well, that makes me happy. When they are just loving life, I'm at my happiest. And the same is true for when they're going through hardships. When my brothers are down, I'm down. And I try my hardest to lower myself with them and to share their burdens. And I'm not the best at it, don't get me wrong. I know that. But it's the effort I try to make. See, those people that you said were your friends at the beginning of chapel today, that just a couple minutes ago when I just started talking, people that you're sitting next to even right now, can you honestly say that if you had some great success in life, if you won, you got some awesome goal, you just got some awesome material possession or some, you know, great relationship or whatever, that they wouldn't be jealous of you? That they would be like, that is awesome, good for you. Or they'd be like, yeah, that's cool, I guess. And now I'm sure a lot of you are thinking, yeah, you know, hey, they are jealous of me or something, or that. But I think the more important question then is, are you that way to them? If they won, can you truly say that you would love them with all your heart and push them to enjoy that to the fullest? Or would you be jealous of them? Because see, it all changes with you. In closing, one of the things that he said to me that night still resonates with me today. And I remember it very vividly. It's something I haven't heard before. It's nothing mind-blowing. But he looked over at me as we were turning onto my street at like 2 in the morning, super late. And he goes, Zach, you know I love you, right? And it's something I haven't heard before. But in that moment, in his actions and how he proved it to me that day, it has truly been one of the most influential moments of my life. I encourage you guys today, put your friends first. Love them. Win with them. Struggle with them. It's not easy. But I can promise you from personal experience, it's so much better when you do. Thank you.